tornado warning that's in effect. And you can see just how close this is now getting to the district in the very near suburbs and in the metropolitan area from 395 to 236. The Beltway, the southern side of the Beltway, is included. And I mean, this is not good timing, folks. This is not the time to be on the road. I know we've got a lot of folks that have to get to work, they got to get their day on the way, but you need to stay safe first. So if you are watching us from home or you are watching us from your safe space, safe place, stay there now. And that includes, again, Alexandria, all the way back down to portions of Prince William. Lorton is included in this. Let's go ahead and we could take a look again. 495, so that's the southern side of the Beltway. 395 included. Alexandria and Arlington now under, again, including Prince William and Fairfax counties. This all under a tornado warning right now, currently, and that will last for about the next half hour at least. Could see this extended. So Mount Vernon, 6:36 a.m. These are some of the towns that we're expecting the potential impacts. 6:36 a.m. Mount Vernon, Annandale. These are places you hear about every day here. Again, Alexandria, Fairfax, Prince William, all included under a tornado warning now until 6:45 a.m. These are extremely highly densely populated areas. A lot of tall apartment buildings. You know, the winds can really pick up as you go up in elevation. So being up at elevation near windows is not the place to be. If you are in an apartment building or a high density living type of situation, you want to be in an interior room away from windows, potentially say the lower level of your apartment building in a lobby area. If you're in a private home or anywhere else, you've got to make sure that you're in the sturdiest portion of that home, the sturdiest area, which would be the basement or an interior windowless room. That is the place to be. Again, a tornado warning until 6:45 a.m. Arlington, Alexandria, as well as Fairfax and including Prince William. Again, you know, you watch Get Up DC every morning, you hear Lindsay talking about these places. These are high traffic areas. Unfortunately, this warning going right now over 95. On top of that, a flash flood warning has been issued for Arlington, Falls Church, Fairfax, and also portions of southern Montgomery County. So the kind of West DC corridor here, as you go all the way down into extreme northeastern Virginia and western portions of the district, and then down into southern Montgomery County. So again, tornado warning continues until 6:45 a.m. That includes Arlington, Fairfax, and Alexandria. Let's go ahead and we can zoom tight in here. Lake Barcroft, kind of the northern extent of this, and then the southern extent, you can kind of see where I've put in this little blue dot here, not too far from Lorton, Accotink, Newington. You are in the thick of this. Potentially, again, some of these areas over the next, say, about hour that could be impacted by this. And again, we do have a tornado warning that continues now. It's for about the next 5 minutes, and we're going to stay with this. We're going to keep you and your family safe and ahead of this as the conditions develop. Annandale at 6:46. I believe we actually have a, do we still have that camera up for Annandale right now? I'm kind of address, if we could take that camera from Annandale. Thank you, Lindsay. You could see what's going on here. I mean, just sheets of rain. You can actually see folks with their flashers on as they are. This is the mixing bowl actually in Alexandria. We did have an Annandale shot, but this is Alexandria, the mixing bowl. Again, another very high traffic area. You know, I encountered some of this on my way in with these feeder bands. They just, I mean, you just get absolutely pasted with rain, zero visibility. Again, you can see the folks with all their flashers on just driving at a snail's pace. You get down to zero visibility in some of these downpours. So that's kind of a double-edged sword with this. Not only the potential of a spin-up tornado here, but just massive rain coming down right now. So let's take it back to the radar, CG17. And again, these are sort of behind-the-scenes directives that you're hearing for our directors. But Annandale at 6:46, 6:56. McLean going to be hit by the potential tornado producing cell here, and I say potential tornado producing cell not because I say that you shouldn't get your safe space or your safe place in your home, but because of the fact that it is radar indicated. This has not been spotted, but it is, as you saw with that rain, very hard to actually spot these things. Just absolute downpours coming down with some of these cells as they move north. So the American Legion Bridge, follow along with me here, 7 a.m. That's, again, not a place to be as that cell could come directly overhead within the next 20 minutes. Potomac, Montgomery County at 7:05, Rockville at 7:12, Germantown 7:22, Laytonsville at 7:25, and Damascus at shortly after 7:30. So that's along the track of this potential tornado that could be coming through. So again, we're going to take you back here. Some other flood warnings that are also in place that are just west of the district. But let's take us back a couple of graphics here. I do want to show you again where this tornado warning is. That's where it is in relation now to the district. So closing in on very close to the district portions, the southwest portion of the Beltway and the southern portion of the Beltway under that tornado warning. Again, this includes highly populated areas. This is Alexandria and Fairfax, both included, as well as Prince William County. Let's zoom in. I'll show you some of the roads here. The Mixing Bowl also impacted by a flash flood warning that is going to last us until 9:45 a.m. So Lynbrook, North Springfield, Edsel Park, Indian Run, Backlick Road, Bowie Road, Leesville Boulevard. Take cover now. Be in your safe place, in your home, in your apartment building, in your office. That is going to be the place to be. We have not heard anything back from Metro. There are Metro stops, Metro stations that are in line with this. Of course, VRE in line with this as well. So there are folks, they potentially could be waiting outside for the train or waiting outside for the bus. This is not the time to be doing that. This is the time to be inside in a sturdy shelter, in a sturdy building. If you see this weather coming, if you're getting the alerts on your phone from our weather app, from emergency management services, it is time to get to that sturdy building, lowest portion of that building. And in fact, right now we have Marcella Robertson on the phone in Alexandria. What are you seeing?
Hey, well, I would say within the last 45 minutes after we did our last live shot at around 5:30, the skies just kind of turned completely, and it got really ominous outside. We were just waiting to get back out of the car to do our live shot, and then actually it got very, very dark. And I feel like a few seconds after that is when I heard Michaela saying that, in the area of Old Town that we need to get inside. And so we found some safe shelter inside. And I would say at this point now, it does look like you can see the sky a little bit. It's getting a little bit lighter, not as dark as it was, but I would say things turned pretty quickly over the last 45 minutes or so.
Great, Marcel. I want you to stay safe. How are you in a position where you can actually see anything, or are you kind of in an interior spot with no windows?
There's a window in the back. We're at a coffee shop right now, and you can kind of see, again, it was just completely dark. It was almost hard when we were driving up here to see, but now it does look like things are clearing up a little bit. You can see the sky. I did just see even a plane that is up in the air that just flew through that. So that's probably a bumpy ride for sure.
Right.
But it does look like things are moving. You can see the clouds moving very quickly. But it does look like there are clear skies behind it.
Marcel, I don't want to interrupt you there, but thank you so much for the report. Stay safe. I have some great news. The tornado warning has now been dropped. So as we've been talking about here, Michaela saying you got to get to that safe space, safe place in your house, and also make sure if you are not living in this Nanjemoy area where, again, we expect that direct impact from this cell with the potential of a tornado. Again, this is radar indicated, but with the potential of a tornado here, this is a time to call friends and family in this area, say, hey, it's time to kind of enact those emergency plans because, again, we do have a tornado warning for southwestern Charles County for that Nanjemoy area. That is going to last us for about 3 more minutes. So until 6:15, 3 more minutes. Let's go ahead. We can zoom in and show you exactly what's going on with the cell. This is the heaviest activity right here, right along Nanjemoy and Grayton. That's where it appears right now we have the worst of that activity and the worst of the cell. Now you can see here I've painted in a track for some of the potential areas that could be impacted by the cell as it does move northbound. Again, this is in effect Charles County, western Charles County until 6:15 in the morning. So Nanjemoy, you're in line to get this right now. This is the time to be in your safe place. I'm hoping, again, you have us turned up on the television or you've got that weather app with you so you can stay safe. And again, being in an interior room away from windows, a basement, if you don't have any of that, you can always get into a bathroom, throw something soft over you, a blanket, a mattress, something like that, and that can help keep you safe.
Jonathan, it's been extended.
We have now had an extended warning, and when is that till, Michaela?
This is now until 6:15, still for Charles County, but it has just been extended further north, just like we were talking about.
Okay, and now Indian Head also is included in our warning. So Indian Head now also in our tornado warning. So that is breaking for us here. Still Charles County, but Nanjemoy up to Indian Head within this track. Now we are seeing these get a little bit closer to the district. So again, this should really kind of perk up your ears here. Folks here in Mount Vernon, Indian Head, we've got some of these town names that are painted in. Burke here in the district. These are places that are in line. Again, so we're going to stay with this now again until 6:30, a tornado warning. 6:30, a tornado warning continues. I'll go ahead and back this up. Now you can see the warning until 6:15, but we've extended this little tongue northbound here up north of Nanjemoy. That is our tornado warning that goes until now 6:30. That goes up to Chickamuxin, Route 344, 425, all of these roads not places to be this morning. I know you got to get to work. I know that, summer camps are still going on. Some schools are in session. This is a time to hunker down. The boss is going to understand, I'm sure, if you're under one of these warnings. 224, back to 425. If you're on the road now, time to get off the road and get into a safe place as we go up to, again, Mount Pisgah, Red Hill right on the edge of that warning, Chickamuxin in the warning, and let's go a little farther north. You can see again some of these roads here. That's, what do we have there? Bicktill Road as well as Strauss Avenue, Rison, and Marbury. Again, some of these smaller towns, but if you live in these towns, I know I'm from a small town myself, so if you live in these towns, extremely important to you, you are in this tornado warning right now. So 629 Indian Head going to be getting this cell. So right now it's kind of going over more so rural areas just north of Nanjemoy, but Woodbridge. So we're back in Virginia now at 635. These are very populated areas. So folks, again, if this were to hold together, Lorton 640, Mount Vernon 645 or so. Burke, you'd be in line at about 650. Here in the district at 701. And then Silver Spring at 711. So these are names that you know and know well, and that's where this is in line to go as this moves north quickly. So again, the timing can change a little bit, but these folks need to be sure they have their tornado preparation in place in case that warning is extended northbound. But for now, western Charles County is under a tornado warning until again, this is going to be lasting until now 6:30 in the morning. So a brand new warning that has now overtaken the old warning that was in effect until, again, 6:15. You can see the southern edge here right around that Nanjemoy area. Let's go ahead and we're going to back this up a little bit and we'll come back to it here so you can get a better picture of the full warning. And again, here's the southern side of the Beltway just for reference. And here is our warning that basically goes just west of La Plata and east of Montclair in Virginia, Indian Head, all the way down to Nanjemoy. These areas are under the gun for, again, the potential of a tornado that could be coming our way within potentially moments here as we track this through our area. So again, it's a southern periphery right here, right around that area of just west of La Plata. that we have that tornado warning that continues until 6:30. Let's go ahead and we can back this out a little bit. You can see again in here, right in here, Nanjemoy up to Quantico, these areas under that tornado warning now until 6:30 a.m. Let's go ahead and pull out our scope and we can take a look at the, this right here is our velocity scope is what we call it. We look for what are called couplets of red and green, anywhere from right in here in Nanjemoy, this darker green, that's indicative of some stronger wind, but no real circulation that I'm seeing here. It doesn't mean that we won't see any, but again, some of the stronger winds in some of these darker greens here as this makes that push northbound. So some of the areas that are going to be impacted potentially by this, and let's take that off so you can see a little bit better. Again, this is our tracking from the Nanjemoy area, now kind of just north of Nanjemoy. So it's more so, Indian Head in line in about 15 minutes up to Lorton. That's going to be at 6:40. Mount Vernon at 6:45 or so. And then we've got, Burke, as well as, here you go, the District at about 7, and then Silver Spring at about 7:11. So those are the times that we potentially could be seeing this move through some very metropolitan areas. Let's go ahead. I'm going to just zoom out real quick so you can actually get a picture of, here's the District, and then we go down just east of Quantico. There is where our warning is. So this is kind of the distance that we're looking at right now. And again, I'm trying to take a close-up look here in Charles County, and I know Michaela's been taking a look at this as well. This is our velocity, and usually, again, we look for kind of what we call a couplet, red and green up here. You can see it on the key, red and green right next to each other. I'm not seeing that at this point, so that's good news. If you don't want to have a tornado coming through, of course, who does? Again, these can be very quick developing, very fast developing systems. So this is something we're going to just keep tracking. We're going to keep an eye on here. We're going to keep you ahead of it. We're going to keep you and your family safe. We're going to stay on air with this until this has expired. Again, for another 10 minutes now, a tornado warning continues for Charles County. So now I'm going to toss things Annandale, Georgetown, American Legion Bridge here at about 7 a.m. Potomac at 7:04, 7:11. Rockville, Germantown, 7:20, and Damascus. That would have an impact here at about 7:32 a.m. So the red box that you see right in here from Mount Vernon all the way back down to western Charles County, that is our tornado warning that continues now. So again, from Alexandria down to Indian Head, up to Fairfax, Prince William, and Fairfax counties all under a tornado warning now, an active tornado warning. So keep that in mind. Again, that is until 6:30 in Charles County, so another couple of minutes on that, and then extended beyond for portions of Prince William County as well as Alexandria. You can see, again, all included in this, Arlington and Alexandria, metropolitan Arlington and Alexandria, all under a tornado warning. So this is the time to get into that safe space, to get into that safe place. That includes getting into potentially a basement, a place without windows, an interior bathroom. If you're in an apartment building, lowest floor, interior lobby area, best place to be. We're taking a look now at our velocity and the toward and away here. And this is where this would be at this point, right around, again, Halloween Point Estates, potentially Fenwick. You're seeing a little bit of a red and a little bit of a green, but that not technically the couplet that we're looking for here. Got a little bit more information.
Velocity, it is looking like the Mason Neck area north of Potomac Heights, just outside of Lorton, just to the west of Woodbridge. I'm going to step over just so you can see exactly what I'm seeing right now. This is where we're seeing a little bit better of that rotation. It is a little bit harder to see. So coming up on here on our radar scope app that a lot of us meteorologists use, you can actually see a lot better picture of that potential rotation. So again, right on in here where some of that deepest red is where we have some of that circulation that potentially is occurring north of Indian Head.
south and east of Lorton right now. That is where the circulation of our storm is moving northbound. So let's hammer on down, because I know a lot of folks, they're trying to get their day underway. You know, a lot of these folks are trying to get to work, trying to get their kids off potentially to schools or camps at this point. Pohick, Lorton, Pohick Road, Lorton Station Boulevard, Furnace Road, and again, 95 all included in this tornado warning until 6:45 a.m. That includes Prince William, that includes Alexandria, that also is going to include Arlington. So these are extremely highly populated near suburb and metro areas. Again, you hear us talk about this on Get Up DC every day. You hear it on the traffic report, on the news. Backlick Road, 95, 286, Newington. Let's get right in here and we can show you some of these areas. Again, this is where you need to be in that interior room. I know that Michaela's been reinforcing it. I'm going to do it too. Interior room away from windows. Rolling Road up to Bartaw Road, Pohick Hills, Hose Road, and Beulah Street. Again, all of these places where potentially we could have impacts from this cell moving northbound. Loisdale Road, let's go up to Fair Vernon. That also under that tornado warning. And again, as we go to the east here, as we head closer to the Potomac River, Beulah Street and Casperson Road, all of these places that are under the gun for this. Now, here's our current timing. Again, Mount Vernon in the next about 5 to 10 minutes. You're going to be right on the edge of that warning. Annandale at 6:44. Georgetown, that's right here in the district. Actually could come very close to our station if this holds together at 6:53. Near 7 o'clock, American Legion. Potomac at 7:04. Rockville at 7:11. 7:20 at Germantown, and 7:32 at Damascus. Actually, Michaela, I want to help kind of walk folks through the towns that are going to be impacted by this. Now, Fairview Beach, 5:57 a.m. So if you are in the area of Fairview Beach, this is going to be the number one place where you have to make sure that you're in your safe place. You can keep our channel on. You could take your weather app with you. Just make sure that we're on in another room potentially, but make sure you get into an interior room away from windows. That's the best place to be. A basement area, that's a great spot to be. If you're in a mobile home or a weak structure, get into a more significant, strong structure. Again, this is in effect until 6:15, so we've got about another 25 minutes on this tornado warning. Our concern that we were talking about yesterday, again, that potential that we would see tornado warnings that would begin to pop with some of these cells as they came through, because we have what we call our feeder bands that are coming in. They have some extra rotation from the remnants of Debby as it's making its push toward us. So if you're familiar here, well east of 95 in Stafford, King George County, up into southwestern Charles County. So right on the edge of our area here, we do have that tornado warning. Again, it's radar indicated, but that's usually how these go with these landfalling tropical systems till 6:15 a.m. So this, again, is a radar indicated tornado. Get into your safe space here, your safe place from Fairview Beach up to Nanjemoy. Now, this is some new data I just put together for you. These are some of the towns that could be impacted by this potential tornado. This is going to be moving its way up through King George County, right through central King George County. So that's in the northern neck, kind of clipping right across portions of western Charles, and then eventually back into northern Virginia. And gradually this getting into more populated areas. So again, if this were to hold together, Fairview Beach, 6:05, Nanjemoy at about 6:17, Hilltop, the potential at about 6:22, 6:33 at Indian Head, Woodbridge at 6:38, Lorton at 6:43. And again, these are some high traffic areas at this time of the morning, so you do not want to be on the roads as this is coming through. Mount Vernon at 6:47 and Alexandria at 6:55 a.m. So again, there's our system. Here is the district just off to the north of this. So again, this is moving to the north at basically vehicle speed at about 40 miles an hour. There's the district. Again, And here is our warning that is down to the south. So you see Nanjemoy back down just west of Dahlgren and into central portions of King George County. Fairview Beach, you're in line to get some of this. Let's go. There it is, right in here. So right around Fairview Beach, south of Nanjemoy, this is what we've been talking about. You look for these couplets, if you will. You see there's one little pixel of red surrounded by this kind of green and purple. Really what I want to call your attention to, and thank you, as Michaela's drawing this in, this is where that potential circulation is. Why do we look for this red and green when, you know, meteorologically we're looking at the radar? Well, the red is indicative of winds going away from the radar site, whereas the green is winds going toward the radar site. So together kind of gets your spin, if you will. You get the winds going away and the winds coming toward kind of together and making that spin around. So that spin, that wide spin, is indicative of circulation or rotation in your thunderstorm, and that is where the tornado usually will potentially descend from. So again, it's a tornado warning that's in effect now, actually just been trimmed out of King George County. I know you see it there on the bottom of your screen, but this is breaking. This is again a continuing situation here that King George County has been removed from the tornado warning at this point, but we still again have portions of southwestern Charles County under that tornado warning. So this area in red right here, that's the most intense cell or intense portion of the cell. And just moments ago, we did show what's called a couplet here on the velocity, with the red being the winds away from the radar and the green being the winds toward the radar. That has diminished for the time being, but we're going to keep a very, very tight, close eye on this. Just north of Virginia 218, crossing the Potomac into western Charles County. So again, western Charles County under the gun here, right around Nanjemoy. Fairly rural area, but if you live here, obviously very, very impactful. We take a close-up zoom in. If we could zoom in even a little bit tighter here, Michaela, you can see that, again, right here along 224, here are some of the towns. Maryland Point, west of Riverside, that's where your tornado warning is. If we can go even a little bit tighter there, Wellington Beach. These are some of the smaller towns that could be impacted by this. Grayton, Route 6, not a place to be right now, all the way up to the north here, Liverpool Point Road, and that goes toward Nanjemoy, where, again, we have the potential. Here are some of the roadways, Adams-Willett Road, as well as some of the roadways here. You can see Route 6, Beaver Dam Road in the area of downtown Nanjemoy. These are all places that are under this warning. So again, we're going to continue to see this move north quickly at about 40 miles an hour. That red box is where we have that tornado warning. Again, that is until 6:15 a.m. Now that is for only Charles County, but that may be extended once again. We'll have to see just how this goes. This is very quick developing, and that's how it goes with these tropical systems as they move inland. You get these quick tornadoes. Sometimes they last a little longer. Sometimes they're just only 3 to 5 minutes. But nonetheless, this is a radar indicated tornado with the potential here. You see, again, Route 6, some of those surrounding roadways up to Route 425, Maryland 425. These all impacted by this potential, again, tornado warning until 6:15 a.m. And it's our policy to stay on air with these through the entirety of the warning. So you won't be seeing any other news, any other commercials. We are going to be here to keep you safe wherever this is across our area. We're going to be here to keep you safe. That's right. And, you know, as we're just talking about a couple of moments ago, I know that Michaela had said, you know, you could turn your TV way up. You could take your app, and this is why we've been telling you to download our app. Your WUSA9 app could go with you wherever you go into your tornado safe space. You can zoom in on the radar, get those updated alerts as they are coming in. So right now, again, this area in red, this box in red, that is our tornado warning, lasting until 6:15 a.m. We're going to have to see if this is extended northbound, but you can see the southern side of the Beltway right here. And again, that tornado warning for Charles County that lasts until 6:15 a.m. So I'm going to toss things back over to Michaela with all of the twist, if you will, with this storm system, with all of the circulation with Debby and its remnants. We have that potential once again of within these bands as they come through a spin-up tornado. And I'm sure at one point or another here, the radar sweep out of the National Weather Service had the potential of getting some of that spin in there. Maybe it was showing a little bit of spin at one point. Not showing it right now. So that's good news. But still, a radar indicated tornado has to be treated as a potential tornado. So you have to make sure that you are in your safe place. You are away from windows. Basement area is a great spot to be if you don't have a basement. If you're in a mobile home, get out of the mobile home and make sure that you're in a sturdy shelter away from windows, an interior room. Thank you very much. Now, Michaela, as Michaela's been talking about here and tracking, we do have a tornado warning. I know it may sound a little repetitive here, but we're trying to keep folks safe here along the southern portion of our viewing area at this point. This is now just moving into the northern neck of Virginia. I believe we're talking, again, King George County. You know what? We just literally dropped that tornado warning